What is up, guys? I'm the Deadly Cat, because I am pretty deadly. And, yeah, I'm kind of new to the whole YouTube thing. I'm just playing a bit of TF2 here on my Mac, as you can probably tell from the black cursor. It was actually pretty easy to set it up. All I had to do was buy a program called Voila for like 20 bucks, and then I can just use iMovie to edit it. But anyway, this video is not about the gameplay, even though this is my first video ever. Um, I wanted to talk about more about the American political system. Yeah, I'm serious. I know. So, basically what's going on in the world today is the Democrats in the House and the Senate aren't doing much, and the Republicans are just pointing out what the Democrats are doing but not presenting anything to the table. That's kind of what politics is all about. It's more about avoiding things more than actually, like fixing problems. Well, people, sorry about this. I had to go back and check if the video is recording. I know I'm a noob, but anyway. So basically, what's happening in American politics today is people, their main goal is just to get elected. And I'd say about 85% of what politicians do is just they just care about their public image mainly, and all they care about is getting reelected so they can have a job or have power in the Senate still. Uh, so this causes some problems because uh, people, like politicians, will promise things a lot and just to get votes. Like, for example, when President George H.W. Bush promised that he would present no new taxes, and he got elected because no one wants taxes, um, and of course there were taxes, and that's one of those things where if you if you're running for a political seat, if you're running for even especially a presidential seat, you have to pretty much say you don't want any taxes because that's probably the main thing the average person looks for. And the average person isn't that smart in America. The average person just wants to have their freedom and go and find their pursuit of happiness, which is fine. But a lot of times it messes up the political system because they think that some politicians are out there to help them when really they're just trying to help themselves. So, for like when George Bush was getting a really bad rap by most of America at the end of his tenure as president, the Democrats started gaining a lot of power, and that's why um, the that's a good reason why the Democrats won a majority in the House and Congress, and they won the presidential seat. But as we've seen, not much has gone on. Not much has gone on. I'm not saying it's Obama's fault. It's just it's the Democrats who don't agree with Obama and are kind of um, blocking him, or it's the Republicans who are starting like crazy things, how we should do this or how we should do that, or if like this whole budget cut thing that happened recently. They said, "Oh, we had to propose a new budget cut by this time," but uh, the Republicans and Congress couldn't find a budget cut for until it was they almost had to shut down non-essential government entities or services, which I think was stupid. Why would you have a deadline for that? I mean, you waited like almost the whole presidency for Obama, and then you decide, oh well, you know, uh, if you don't find a budget now, we're gonna shut down the government, which makes absolutely no sense. And at least the Republicans did propose a bill I haven't looked at it. I don't know what the bill necessarily entails, but um, you know, it's not going to be the best bill, but no one can really find the best solution to this big hole we have. And we're I'm honest, we are in a lot of debt, but the media has just exploited it in such a way that people are getting worried, and this could be a reason why uh, people that why the politicians decided that there had to be a deadline for the budget cut. And sorry, I switched servers here because no one was really playing, and I kind of got mad at that camping engineer dude. But whatever, it's TF2. It's not as bad as Black Ops. I don't play it that much anymore. Anyway, I digress. So basically, if you want to be in American politics, all you have to do is please the main person, or the person of the opposite party who's in office. So basically, right now, if you wanted to become president um, next year, you'd probably be a Republican. You would probably uh, help get new jobs, and help try to fix the unemployment rate and help people with you know um, you know little things. I don't know. Yeah. So basically, all politicians are doing is just they're taking advantage of each other's faults to get elected, and that's the main thing I find wrong with democracy, because it's become skewed in such a way that uh, you know that people are everybody has opinions. Like, one year everybody's all for Republicans, next year everybody's so liberal, but the next year everybody doesn't want any taxes. But it's not gonna work, and I don't really think any type of government is necessarily the best, because I mean, pretty much every single government has been tried, uh, every but they haven't all succeeded. Like, there are some communist countries are still around, but there are communist countries that didn't succeed. That a lot of democratic countries are still around, but there are some democratic countries that didn't succeed. Some dictatorships didn't succeed. Um, and yeah, that's an even bigger issue. That's more about like my philosophy about uh, all the all the political systems in the world. I could say that for another commentary, but yeah, the main point of this is that yeah, the political system is just exploited in such a way that it, it's stupid. I think it's honestly stupid, and it's not. The politicians aren't looking out for you; they're looking out for themselves, and they're not going to get anything done. And they're not getting anything done, and this is why we're in a $3 trillion deficit, because people didn't care enough to you know object to someone going off and blowing a bunch of money. I don't know where the money went. It could have been a war. It couldn't. We can't go into the government's finances. It probably was all the wars we were in, but you know, I'll get into that in a later commentary. I am the Deadly Cat. Peace out.